you. Good to see you again. Today we're going to be talking about wisdom versus truth. Wisdom versus truth. And what are the difference? And then we're going to talk about why we need to know the truth, or the difference between both. Wisdom, let's start out with truth. Okay? So, truth it can be measured by man's mentality, can be measured by man's understanding is a better way of stating it. Truth can be that one scientist today can say, this is the law for this, and this is how something works. And tomorrow some other scientist who comes along who's a little bit smarter than the last scientist can say, well, you know, that's not true. In reality, this is what it is. And then maybe 10 or 15 years or even a year, another scientist will come and disprove that and change it. Because truth is based on the scientific method. And the scientific method is what we call the educated guess. So when you hear someone make a statement that, well, it's been proven scientifically, well, you know what? Everything that's been proven scientifically, especially in today's society, in today's world, our new world, where we're we're making new groundbreaking discoveries, we're finding that we have to rewrite a lot of what we call truth, right? And this is because, like I stated before, truth changes. Truth is not consistent. Truth is not constant. Anything that's not consistent and that can change is it's not real. It's not a governed law. It's not something that never will always be the same. The law of gravity is always the same. Law of gravity don't care whether you're good or bad. You can have two people who are equally good and the other one's equally bad jump off the highest mountain in the world. And gravity's not going to care whether you're good or bad. Gravity is going to say, I'm doing my job and I'm gravity, and the law of gravity states what goes up must come down. Now that's a truth. That's a truth, but more of a wisdom. Okay, and we're going to get into wisdom, and that'll make more sense. But like I'm saying, truth is the scientific method, is the way the man finds ways to explain things that we don't know. And now that can get us into trouble, because when you're trying to live by a truth that can't sustain itself, that changes all the time, that leads to a lot of confusion, that leads to a lot of unsuccess in our lives. And so when we're pursuing the path of truth or enlightenment or awakening to whom what we are, which is the path of wisdom, then we want to know and we want to make sure that the steps or the laws that we're taking are the ones that are not empty promises, that are exact, that are reliable. They are reliable. We want to be able to know that the wisdom, the knowledge that we're following is going to get us where we want to go, despite it taking maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years. We know that eventually it's going to get us where we're going to go, we want to go, or we're going to get equal. Remember what I said in one of my previous recordings? The universe gives you equal to or greater than. So that is what truth is. And we can go more into details, but you got the basic understanding. Okay? Now, wisdom is never changing. It is constant. It is fact. It is truth. The real truth. Okay? But for this recording, since I'm using truth and I'm referring to it as, the scientific method, which is science, and I'm talking about wisdom, which is from the higher source, God, universe, divine, the laws, the universal laws that basically run this world, run this existence and all existence. Okay? So wisdom is the universal laws. Wisdom is the universal laws that we pride ourselves upon, and we know that when we give wisdom to someone, because it is truth, that if they follow this wisdom, it will bear fruit. That is faith in knowing and the wisdom and understanding that what we teach never changes, will never falter. Okay? Will never ever steer us wrong. And that is why so many now are waking up. They're awakening. They're going through this huge awakening because we are sick and tired of the truth or scientific method or the man-made knowledge that we've come up with. Or second guessing, or these guessings that this is right, that's wrong, and this is what we call this, and this is what we call that, when it's not true. Now let me clarify. You got some brilliant scientists out there, some brilliant people that will talk to you, and they will make me look like a fool with their knowledge. But just because you can speak elegantly and sound like you know what you're saying, does not mean that it is wisdom. Does not mean that it is reality, that it is real, that it is a solid, strong, sturdy law that will never pass. One of my favorite quotes from the Bible is, he states, "My word, the world shall pass," he says, "but my word is everlasting." Now, I like to refer to that as God's source, universe. And I like to believe that he's talking about his universal laws, his laws that he governs. He or universe, source, whatever you will call your God, whatever you believe in. We can use source. Okay? Higher self. But the law still stands. And that statement still stands. That the world could pass, but those laws that we have so much faith in, that we are discovering, that we are awakening to, that we have so many amazing experiences when we apply them. The law of attraction, the law of detachment, the law of cause and effect, the law of karma. There's so many of them. As we continue to explore and dive deeper into what these laws are and the actual practical application of them and interpretation of what they are. This is why, again, Source has allowed me to push me in this direction of recording, making these recordings and creating this channel that I was blessed by. The universe gave me the name Universal Interpretation. I asked why, and it was like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm interpreting the information you're giving me. And they were like, exactly. Okay? Now, again, wisdom is what we seek, is the knowing. A lot of us who are teachers or following the path of the light workers, okay, who are basically people who are just following the light, following source, God, universe, so many different names, but it is the same. It is the light. It is the holies of the holies. It is the divine within, the great I am. Okay? So, the wisdom leads us, these laws, this wisdom is the universal laws. These universal laws have been in effect since the beginning of time. If you study a lot about these laws, you'll realize that a lot of governments have tried to covet these laws, these wisdom, because they understood that through wisdom, you can do anything. So through the knowledge of man, they try to rewrite the so-called wisdom, but you cannot take or add from true wisdom. You just can't. You can learn from it. You can comprehend how it works and benefit from it, but you cannot change it. It is a consistent, constant, always there, always ready to, it's always being applied. Whether conscious or subconscious, whether you like it or not, whether you're white, black, Chinese, man, female, these are consistent, constant, reliable laws that, when you look at it, are actual fact. And that, my friends, is wisdom. And this is what we need to understand, and this is what we need to seek and continue to seek, is the universal laws, the universal understanding. Dig deep what they are, how to apply them, what are the proper order, and I hope that you can get some information from what I'm teaching. But just don't go by what I'm just teaching. Take a lot of this information. Seek out others. There's so many others that can give it to you, give this information from so many different angles, so many different variations of the same information. Get the different angles, get the different variations, so that you have a greater and broader understanding. Whether the information sounds boring to you or not, it's through repetition and synchronicity that we will put this information deep within our minds to the point we would be living it. Try to live this stuff. Don't just do it like most people that go to church on Sundays and the rest of the time they don't even want to know it, nothing about anything religious or spiritual. You got to be spiritual and understand that you're also physical. So bring the understanding of these laws that apply in the spirit, mental, and the physical. Remember, as above, so below, as within, so without. As within spiritually, so without physically. As in the heavens, so on earth. Okay? So remember, this is Ray. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Love and peace.